Yeah.
Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. Chaos is what Rivalry Week is all about. And that's exactly what we got from Thursday through Saturday, guys, was absolute chaos. We saw upsets left and right. We saw losing streaks come to an end. We saw bowl bids that were clinched. We saw divisions that were clinched. We saw teams continue to strengthen their playoff resume and keep their playoff hopes alive. Everything that you wanted to see in the final weekend of the regular season, we got. And we are here to break down the biggest moment from this weekend. This week 13 as we head in to Conference Championship weekend, guys, because a week from today is Selection Sunday. We will know every single bowl game, and we will know who the Final Four are, who will be in the college football playoff, who will be in. So, guys, again, welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. We're so glad you could join us today. As always, make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, and share our videos. And, of course, check out everything down in the description below. We've got some exclusive content there for you guys. All of it is year-round content, 24/7, 365. So if you sign up for it today, you've got it for at least a year, if not longer. So make sure to sign up for it. Sign up for our expert picks over at thegridironexpert.com. We are hitting 66% of our bets over the last 5 weeks. 33-17 run right now, guys. 75 and 58 overall. It's over 56%. One of the best marks in the country. We've had at least 5 weeks of at least 60%. 66% over the last 5 weeks. One of the best marks in the country. Then, this overall mark, one of the best marks in the country, period. If you've not signed up for expert picks over on thegridironexpert.com, you are truly missing out. Not just for the expert picks part against the spread, but also straight up with the money line. 31-5 in week 13, bringing our total 416-92, sitting at almost 82%. We said this would be the best year here at the Gridiron Expert, and these numbers are living up to it as we enter the final little stretch of this season. So make sure to go sign up for those. Go sign up for MyBookie. Go check out our promo code and the link for that down in the description below. Sign up over there and get a 100% sign-up bonus. You use our picks over on MyBookie, you're going to be rolling in it just in time for the holidays. So go take advantage of all these offers, guys. That's why it's there. It's there to help you. It's there to help you make money. It's there for you, the diehard college football fans. Not us, for you. Help us, help you. Go take advantage of it. So let's take a look at week 13. There are only a handful of games that we want to touch on, guys. We're not going to touch on every big upset. We've got a couple honorable mentions at the end of the video. We'll touch on that in a little bit. But we're going to touch on the bigger games and one of the wilder games that we've seen. I want to start, before we get to the big ones, I know you all know what those games are. Before we get to that, I want to start what happened on Friday between North Carolina and North Carolina State. You want to talk about a wild ending in a rivalry game? This was it. NC State came in number 20 in the country. They were about a touchdown favorite over UNC, who has been a major disappointment this year. And the Wolfpack, they blocked the punt early, jumped out to an early 14-0 lead. Looked like they were going to run away with it at home, too. Well, then North Carolina scored 24 unanswered, leading by 10. And then they nailed a 50-yard field goal to get up 30-21 with just 2:12 remaining. And that 50-yard field goal, everybody thought the game was over. No way NC State's going to score at least 9 points, 10 points way to win in 2 minutes, but they did. The Wolfpack got the ball back, and Devin Leary connected with Emeka Emezi for a 64-yard touchdown with 1:35. Great, there's one. 30-28. NC State needed an onside kick, and they got it. Got the onside kick, and then with 1:09, just a few seconds later, he connected with Emeka Emezi again for a 24-yard touchdown. The two-point conversion failed, but it didn't matter. NC State escaped 34-30, an improbable victory based on how much time was left and based on the score with 2 minutes remaining, scoring 2 touchdowns in less than 2 minutes. NC State finishing the year at 9-3, not going to the ACC championship, though, due to Wake Forest being just a tad bit better and owning that tiebreaker in the end. UNC, a team who many thought would finish 9-3 or better this year, finishing just 6-6. Just shows you the type of year that we're having in college football. Big shout out right now. We're going to give a couple honorable mentions, but I do want to give a shout out now to Washington State. The Cougars snapping a 7-game losing streak in the Apple Cup, taking down Washington 40-13. Their first win against Washington since 2012. Their first win at Washington since 2007. Washington State, guys, stormed Washington's field. And if that doesn't spell rivalry week, if that's not going to get your blood boiling going into next season, I don't know what will. You stormed the other team's field. And the Cougars, guys, I mean, while many will say that was, very irresponsible and very immature, look, I get it. it's been a heck of a year for the Cougars. You lose your coach in Nick Rolovich. Tensions are high, and you go out there and you win this game with an interim coach at the moment and finish 7-5, and you win it in dominating fashion. Kudos to you. Bravo, Washington State. Huge win, and congratulations on snapping that losing streak. But there was one other losing streak that was much better. One other losing streak that was much better and much more impressive to be snapped on Saturday. And I think we all know what that is. Number 5, Michigan, in the game, taking down number 2, Ohio State, 42-27. Usually, guys, that score is reversed. If you've been watching this series for about the last 2 decades, it's usually Ohio State that's beating Michigan 42-27 or sometimes worse. In the whole game, I think everybody was waiting for Michigan to implode. We've seen in recent years where Michigan maybe is hanging with Ohio State after a quarter or two, and then the Buckeyes just take off and run away with it. Or it was going to come down to the final seconds, and Michigan was going to collapse like they always do, and Ohio State was going to run away, get the win, and keep their playoff hopes alive. But the Wolverines, they never let up. The Wolverines played their style of ball in a snowy Ann Arbor, a perfect setting for one of the biggest rivalries in all of college football, for one of the biggest games of the year. We had the snow coming down, 19-degree weather, and Michigan played their style of ball, which was physicality on defense and running. The Wolverines rushed for 297 yards on the day. Torched that Ohio State defense that was allowing us a little over 100 rushing yards per game. 297 yards, including 169 yards and 5 touchdowns from Hassan Haskins. Unbelievable. Give credit to Michigan's defense, too. They were going up against one of the best offenses, if not the best offense in the country. We knew C.J. Stroud and this wide receiver core for Ohio State was the real deal, and they were. C.J. Stroud threw for nearly 400 yards in this game. But the key was stopping the run. In the environment and the setting and the element they were battling, passing was not going to be the number one option for either team. And Ohio State tried to run the ball. Michigan wouldn't allow it. They held Travion Henderson and Ohio State's rushing attack to 64 rushing yards on the day. The Wolverines had 4 sacks on the day, including 3 by Aiden Hutchinson, who set the Michigan record for sacks in a single season. Everything that could have gone Michigan's way did on Saturday. And the Wolverines are now 1 game away from getting into the college football playoff. They have to get past Iowa in the Big Ten Championship on Saturday. But Jim Harbaugh finally winning the big game, finally beating Ohio State. The Wolverines had lost 8 straight. The streak has ended. The losing streak is over. Michigan has finally taken down Ohio State and again are in the Big Ten Championship, 1 win away from getting into the college football playoff. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Same can be said down in Alabama. Number 3, Alabama survived Auburn 24-22 and 3 overtimes. You want to talk about an unbelievable game? This was it. A triple overtime thriller in a game where Alabama outgained Auburn 388 yards to 159. Auburn had 22 rushing yards on the day and yet still almost beat Alabama and ruined the Crimson Tide's playoff hopes. Almost did it. Alabama was trailing 10-0 in the fourth quarter. 10-0 going into the fourth quarter. This offense that I would say was up there with Ohio State as one of the best in the country could not get anything going. Auburn was living in Alabama's backfield. Had 7 sacks on the day. 11 tackles for a loss. Alabama simply could not move against the Tigers, who, keep in mind, were playing this game without T.J. Finley. Or without Bo Nix. They were playing with T.J. Finley, without Bo Nix, their star quarterback. Auburn probably had many opportunities and did have many opportunities to pull away in this game. Favorable field position, multiple chances to get some scores that would have put the game without a reach. If they get up 13-0, 17-0, they win this game and Alabama loses. But Alabama's defense held strong. They held firm. They came up with the big plays when they needed to. And Bryce Young led a drive that will be talked about for ages if Alabama can, of course, beat Georgia and make the college football playoffs. A drive for the ages that kept their playoff hopes alive at least. Alabama, with about a minute and a half left, had the ball on their own 3-yard line. Had to go 97 yards to score. 97 yards to score in about a minute and a half. And Bryce Young did it. Bryce Young led them all the way down the field, hitting Ja'Cory Brooks on a 28-yard touchdown on 3rd and 10 with 24 seconds left. That tied the ball game up at 10. We got into that third overtime. And Alabama was able to get that 2-point conversion because, as we know, at the third overtime, they switched to 2-point conversions only. Alabama got theirs. Auburn did not. And the Crimson Tide found a way to win, as good teams do. And that, of course, will set up a huge top 4 showdown in the SEC Championship this Saturday between Georgia and the Crimson Tide, where if Georgia wins, Alabama is out of the college football playoff. If Alabama wins, 2 SEC teams will be in the college football playoff. So Stakes are very, very high on Saturday, and we'll, of course, be breaking that game down for you later on this week. But an unreal game in Auburn at Jordan-Hare Stadium. And again, we've all been questioning, can this Alabama team get anything going? Does Alabama stand a chance, really, realistically, against Georgia on Saturday? After this performance, many are saying no. The final big game we want to talk about, guys, and again, we're going to give a couple shout-outs here, but these were the ones that were the biggest in terms of the national stage, and that's what we're focusing on today. How about Bedlam? Bedlam, again, one of the better rivalries in all of college football, in my opinion. Number 7, Oklahoma State, winning that game 37-33 over number 10, Oklahoma. So let's think about it, guys. Oklahoma will not be going to the Big 12 championship. Oklahoma will not be in the college football playoff. Ohio State, in theory, will not be in the college football playoff. Clemson will not be in the college football playoff. If you wanted parity, if you wanted to see new teams, this was the year. And you have a lot of teams to thank. One of them is Oklahoma State. The Cowboys snapped a 6-game losing streak to Oklahoma. So we saw in the couple of the biggest games of the week, we saw major losing streak snap. Michigan snapping theirs. Oklahoma State snapping theirs. They snapped that streak to Oklahoma again, winning 37-33 in what was a wild, wild second half. The game was tied at 24 at halftime. Oklahoma outscored the Cowboys 9-0 in the third quarter, led 33-24 going into the fourth quarter. But Oklahoma State scored 2 early touchdowns, scored 2 touchdowns within 5 minutes of each other in the fourth quarter, and their defense, which has been one of the best in the country, quietly has been one of the best in the country all year, held strong in the final minutes, guys. So after taking that 37-33 lead, they had to get one last stop in the final minute, final seconds over Oklahoma. Caleb Williams took off on a 56-yard run. Everybody thought this is it. The Sooners are going to win this thing. How do you let a guy go from about his own 20 to deep into Oklahoma State territory with a few seconds left on a 56-yard run? They were playing prevent defense. He saw the hole, he took it off, and had a chance to go win that game. But the Cowboys defense held strong. And Colin Oliver, a guy we've talked about all year long, sealed the game with 8 seconds left, sacking Caleb Williams on the Oklahoma State 32-yard line. One of 6 sacks on the day by the Oklahoma State defense. And the Cowboys are now going to the Big 12 championship. They'd already clinched their spot, but they're going to the Big 12 championship to play Baylor. Oklahoma State and Baylor in the Big 12 championship on Saturday. The Cowboys win that game. They have a very, very, very strong case for getting into that Final Four, for getting into the college football playoff. It's going to be very interesting to see how everything pans out. But guys, they needed this game. They needed to win this game to keep those hopes alive. They did it. It was an instant classic in Bedlam. Instant classic for all of us as college football fans, guys. I mean, really, this is one unbelievable week. Couple of quick shout-outs. How about Iowa? Give credit to Iowa. They took down Nebraska 28-21. Nebraska finished 3-9. Many are calling them the best 3-9 team in history because all those losses were determined by one possession. Iowa scored 19 points in the fourth quarter. They were down 21-9 entering the quarter, scored 19 to win 28-21. And that game was played on Friday. They needed Wisconsin to lose on Saturday if Iowa wanted to go to the Big Ten championship. Minnesota came through for Iowa. Minnesota took down Wisconsin 23-13. 23-13 over the Badgers. A huge, huge win. A Minnesota team that had lost 16 of the last 17 to Wisconsin found a way to beat the Badgers this year. Kicked Wisconsin out of the Big Ten championship. Iowa will now have the honor of facing Michigan for that Big Ten title. So a huge, huge day in the Big Ten from Friday into Saturday. How about a quick shout out to LSU, who, yes, is going through major coaching changes, has yet to find their guy, but clinched bowl eligibility with Ed Ogeron by taking down number 15 Texas A&M with a touchdown with 20 seconds left. Beat them 27-24. Texas A&M, like North Carolina, like many teams, was a major disappointment this year. The Aggies going just 8-4, not even finishing in the top 3 of the SEC West. After 1 year, after narrowly missing out on the college football playoff, many thought this would be the year. The Aggies going just 8-4, losing in gut-wrenching fashion to LSU in Death Valley on Saturday night. Florida, another SEC team that's been a major disappointment, fired Dan Mullen a few weeks ago, or just really last week. They clinched bowl eligibility with the win over Florida State, defeating them 24-21. 24-21. And we've got our little TV going right here. 24-21 win over Florida State. And finally, how about some coaching changes real quick? We see a couple of huge coaching changes over the course of this last weekend. Billy Napier going from Louisiana to Florida to replace Dan Mullen. Lincoln Riley shocking everybody today on Sunday. We all thought he might be going to LSU. That's what rumor had it. Lincoln Riley in the press conference after Bedlam goes, I will not be the next head coach at LSU. He didn't say he wouldn't be the next head coach at USC. So Lincoln Riley out at Oklahoma. His choice, flying out west to go to USC, hoping to revive that program. Napier to Florida, Riley to USC, Sonny Dykes from SMU to TCU. We'll have bigger analysis on all these coaching changes here in the following months as the coaching carousel continues to go round and round and we get more clarity on these. But these are the big changes as of now, and it's only going to get crazier from here as big schools like Virginia Tech and LSU and now Oklahoma even have big-time holes and positions to replace. And many big names, of course, will be circulating. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see who lands where. But guys, rivalry week, the last weekend of the regular season, it lived up to the hype. We always say you throw records out the window, you assume nothing, and that is what we did this Saturday. It was one of the best weekends of the year, and now we head into conference championship weekend with the potential for more chaos. The Final Four is far from set, so buckle up, get ready. We're going to have analysis on the biggest conference championship games of the week. Get ready for Saturday, and of course we'll have plenty of analysis on Sunday and Monday when those Final Four, when the Final Four and the playoff field is released, along with every other bowl game as well. So guys, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, and share our videos. And of course, check out everything down in the description below. Again, go sign up for those expert picks over on our website, thegridironexpert.com. These numbers right here, they speak for themselves. 66% on our bets over the last 5 weeks. We are on a roll. 33-17 roll right now. 75 and 58 on the year. Again, both those some of the best marks in the country that you will not find anywhere else. So take advantage of that. Take advantage of MyBookie using our promo code and link down in the description below. Take advantage of that, guys. It's there for you to help you make some extra money in this holiday season. So don't miss out on it. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.